Over the last few years, Universal has created some incredible dark rides, like Harry Potter and the Escape from Gringotts and Mario Kart Bowser's Challenge, but what they've done with Jurassic World Adventure at Universal Studios Beijing is just absolutely insane. Opening a few years ago in 2021, Universal Studios Beijing is the newest theme park in the Universal chain. It's home to many of the Universal rides that we've all come to know and love, such as Harry Potter and the Forbidden Journey and Transformers The Ride 3D and even The Incredible Hulk, although here it's themed to Transformers, being named the Decepticoaster. But by far the park's staple attraction is Jurassic World Adventure, which was created completely original for Universal Beijing. Now, of course, this isn't the first time we've seen a Universal ride themed to the Jurassic Park franchise, with virtually every Universal park having a ride based around the IP, dating back to 1996 with Jurassic Park The Ride at Universal Studios Hollywood, which was followed with similar but slightly modified versions at the Universal Orlando Resort and Universal Studios Japan. But whereas those rides are slow-moving dark rides that retell the story of the classic Jurassic Park movie, Jurassic World Adventure is a brand new indoor dark ride that's based off the first Jurassic World movie. It uses the same ride system as the Amazing Adventures of Spider-Man and Transformers The Ride 3D rides. This Oceaneering Entertainment Systems designed ride model is a complex motion-based ride system that has 6 degrees of motion, meaning that riders are always pointed at and involved in the action of the ride. This is a tried and true system for Universal. As previously mentioned, it's used on some of the best rides Universal has ever created. But even though Universal has a ton of experience working with this ride system, it's not their first choice, as during the development of Jurassic World Adventure, Universal developed and patented a ride system based on the gyrospheres from the Jurassic World movies. This was going to be a suspended ride system where riders would ride in 6-person vehicles that would appear to be rolling on the ground, but actually would be attached to a suspended track via cables. These cables could be pulled in a way so that the ride vehicle would rock back and forth, but they could also lift the vehicle completely off the ground. Eventually though, Universal decided to stop developing this system. One of the main reasons was that due to how open these ride vehicles would be, guests would have a much larger field of view compared to other ride systems, like the Spider-Man system where you can only see where the ride points you. If they were to have gone with the gyrosphere design, it would mean that to be fully immersive, the show scenes would need to be much larger, meaning Universal would have to cut the ride in half to accommodate the system in the planned building. Additionally, the cables that made this system possible may have been completely immersion breaking. See, as we'll talk about in a moment, most of the ride's best moments happen above the ride vehicle, meaning there's a fair chance you would see the cables during the ride. While suspended rides have been used effectively before, such as Peter Pan at Disney Parks and E.T. Adventure at Universal, it's clear that it was not the right ride system for Jurassic World Adventure, so it was eventually scrapped in favor of the tried and true Spider-Man system. While the gyrosphere would have been a neat gimmick, switching to the Spider-Man system ended up being a great choice, as not only did the system allow for higher capacity, a longer ride, and great immersion, but it also made some of the insane moments that this ride is famous for possible. The Jurassic World Adventure experience begins by walking around the park's central lake through either Minion Land, the park's fully fledged Despicable Me land, or past a few theaters to Jurassic World Isla Nublar, the park's fully themed Jurassic World land. This is the first land themed fully around the Jurassic World movies, with the Jurassic Land in Japan being themed to the original Jurassic Park movies and the one in Orlando being a combination of the two eras. Located in the middle of Universal Studios Beijing, Jurassic World Isla Nublar contains modern versions of some of the classic Jurassic Park attractions, like the Velociraptor encounter and the Camp Jurassic play area, which is fully indoors and home to the strange and frankly really boring looking Jurassic Flyers roller coaster, which kinda seems like it was planned to be a dark ride, but had its budget cut partway through development. Nonetheless, the land's signature attraction is Jurassic World Adventure, and Universal spared no expense, starting with the ride's immaculate queue that sets up the ride's story. The ride's story is pretty familiar if you've seen the movies. You are a guest visiting Jurassic World, and you're taking a ride on one of the attractions, an off-road adventure that will safely get you face to face with real dinosaurs. Of course, if you've seen the movies, you know something is bound to go wrong. Anyways, the queue starts in a massive building with the statue of John Hammond, the man behind the Jurassic Park in the classic 1993 film. On the walls of the building are advertisements for all of the attractions that Jurassic World offers, dinosaurs. As you walk further into the queue, you walk past the labs where the dinosaurs are created. Then you walk past a display of the ride vehicle, known on this ride as the All-Terrain Luxury Autonomous System, or Atlas. Finally, you've made it into the station, which is very similar to the station on rides like Spider-Man or Transformers. And now you're finally on Atlas and the ride experience has begun. The ride begins slowly, welcoming you to Jurassic World. Once you round the corner, you're met with a beautiful view of the Jurassic World Park, where you see the first dinosaurs of the ride. Upon turning around, you realize that something has gone very wrong, as an unexpected storm has begun ravaging the park, and all the rides have been closed. Things continue to go wrong when you round the corner and come face to face with the first massive Indominus Rex animatronic. It does not take kindly to your presence and starts attacking. Not wanting to be eaten, you run away and come across an Ankylosaurus, who hits the Atlas with its tail, leaving you spinning. This spinning takes you to a crushed gyrosphere, which is followed by one of the most jaw-dropping moments on any dark ride in the world, when the massive Indominus Rex chases riders. As riders frantically back up, the dinosaur keeps getting closer and closer. Finally, the Atlas swerves to the side, narrowly avoiding becoming the dinosaur's lunch. This takes you past a jeep to find Chris Pratt and some velociraptors, who come up with a plan to take down the Indominus Rex. The plan involves fighting fire with fire, releasing the T-Rex from its enclosure and having it square off with the Indominus Rex in another insane moment. When you round the corner, you're met with a destroyed Jurassic World and two monstrous dinosaurs fighting off in an intense battle. The scale of this moment cannot be understated. It is absurd, and you get to experience all of it as the ride takes you directly underneath the battling dinosaurs. The scene then smoothly transitions to screens as we watch the culmination of the battle, where the T-Rex and Velociraptors defeat the Indominus Rex, which falls out of the screen and into reality, signaling the end of the 4-minute attraction and allowing guests to finally catch their breath and begin to process what the heck just happened as they exit through the gift shop. Before we go over how that chase scene works, if you've been enjoying the video so far and want to see more videos like this covering the most incredible and insane dark rides out there, please consider subscribing. Now, if you're like me and you see something like a dinosaur animatronic chasing you, you just gotta know how they did it. Your first thought might be that it's a screen or a projection of some kind, or maybe it works like how the finale of the Indiana Jones ride at Disneyland works, where you don't move, but instead the room moves around you. But no, the massive animatronic dinosaur actually chases you. It's actually coming at you and you are actually moving away. But how? Well, the dinosaur stands on a circular track right next to the ride track, which follows the motion of the ride vehicle up until the scene is over, when the tracks diverge and the ride vehicle quickly spins around, hiding the dinosaur as it continues on its track, being in the perfect location for the scene to begin for the next ride vehicle. Jurassic World Adventure is clearly the culmination of everything Universal has learned over the years, focusing on incredible animatronics and physical sets. Where other Universal attractions used motion and screens to tell the entire story, Jurassic World Adventure uses screens only as a tool to progress the story. And combined with Universal's tried and true motion ride system that they have had over 2 decades to perfect, creates a dark ride experience unlike anything I have ever seen before. By the way, if you find this ride interesting, I highly recommend checking out the full POV right here. It's got English subtitles so you can fully appreciate the story. It's amazing. And if you want more Universal Jurassic Park goodness, check out my video on Velocicoaster, which is right here.